Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and yet again, another attempt at beatdown battle, but this time with the tried and true god team, the Vengeance team. So, this team requires a few different things to really work well, and it's gonna be Guy. It's gonna be Octagram Guy and at least Yom. Like, you don't need to have Raphael here, honestly, but it does make it easier. Trainee, I brought her, but honestly, I actually didn't really need her either, because I was going to bring her for her skill fusion, because it does cut alt damage down by 50%, which is great if you're going to be alted at all. And for the first, I'd say, like, 7 turns or so, Leon doesn't really hit that hard. Like, he has a butt ton of health, and he does have relatively high attack, 11k, but he doesn't start really ramping up this light attack buff until, like, turn 9, turn 10, somewhere around there. So for the first 7 turns, you're kind of free and clear, and this is a green-focused team. So bringing Velzard, bringing Trya, like, Yom has the orb change, which is why I say he's necessary. You could swap Trainee for free-to-play, Aaron if you wanted to, if you wanted another Earth unit to stick on top of Milim. And you'd have, dedicated orange, dedicated blue, and a special convert unit, and then you would just have Vengeance, Vengeance, and then the stun. The stun is what is necessary because of how this battle works with Leon. He has 2.7 almost million HP, and Vengeance, even at high stacks, is only doing like 300 to 400k damage because he doesn't raise his base attack at all. He just raises his light attack, and Vengeance doesn't scale off of that. So there are times where you're going to put him below into that like 25% HP range, where Leon's going to pop this massive 70% heal, and that's like 1.4 million HP or something it can be. And then you're just going to be stuck in purgatory of like vengeancing him down and then lowering him down and then him healing himself back up, and you'll be stuck there forever. Well, in order to not have that happen, Guy's gonna stun, so he can no longer heal, so that on turn, like 15 or something, when he's very low, you pop a stun, or you just keep popping stuns the entire time, and then he just can't do anything. But you do need to have a stun. You do need to have a lot of orb changers to bring, and then you need to have Vengeance Velzard, who honestly, like, she's really good for the reset and the skill point gain. The Vengeance counterattacks that she puts on everybody don't really make that much of a difference, because he doesn't hit you that much even when he does hit you. Like, he hits you like twice a turn, maybe 3 times, not a lot. So you're not going to get too many stacks of counterattacks from Velzard. You're going to get it all from Raphael and Yom, putting them on him. So let's go ahead and just run the team up. We're going at extra fast speed because it's like a 15-minute video or something, or a 15-minute clip. But Vengeance does not do a lot of damage if the target doesn't have a super high attack stat. And a lot of the times, for a Vengeance team to really work, it's because the enemy raises their attack by a lot, and Vengeance does more and more. But for this, Leon raises his light attack, and Vengeance does not scale off of that. So he's going to continue to hit harder and harder, and where Vengeance is going to do the same amount of damage, with more stacks. But we get a good starting hand here, so we're going to apply 2 stacks of Vengeance, and then reuse Velzard to reset everything, use the orb change with Yom, send 6. So here, we've brought free-to-play Yom, and Raphael and Velzard, mainstays of the true defensive-oriented Vengeance team. Shuna and Veldora, I don't count them. They are weird DPS units who happen to have Vengeance, not defensive gods who are built around Vengeance, is how I'm going to describe them. But we've also brought skill-fused Trainee as a healer, also a magic damage dealer, and with her skill fusion, she's going to cut the alt damage that we take by 50%. Except it is an attack skill, and it does get sealed on turn 1, which I did not realize at the time of recording this. But also, we've brought Octagram Guy, who is going to be massively impactful, because say Vengeance does like 300,000 damage, and he's already kinda low, but it doesn't actually kill Leon, and it puts him into that 25% HP range. Well, Leon's gonna heal like 1.2 million HP the next turn. So to prevent that from happening, and to allow the Vengeance to very slowly whittle him down once he's at that low kind of HP threshold, you gotta stun him. And we have the cheap stun for 25 points, guaranteed. You don't need to bring Light Lumi or anything into here, you can just use Guy. And by stunning him, you prevent him from healing. And so when you're on turn, 12 or something, and you're doing 400k Vengeance, and he's got 600,000 health left, well, he's going to have 200 HP left, 200k left over, and then you're going to have to go another turn, so it's better to keep him stunned. That way your 400k Vengeance can then kill him the following turn. And all the while, leading up to that, you're just sending green orbs, sending the ults. There's no point in saving ults. This team does not do traditional damage, so it's really irrelevant, actually, at this point. We have all defensive-focused unit, and, you know, Octagram Guy is level 80 for me. Like, you don't need him skill-fused. You don't need dupes in him. You just need his 25-point stun. Because this team, being capped at 100 points, means you have enough to use generally 4 skills. 2 Vengeances, 2 Orb Changes, or a Vengeance, 2 Orb Change, and the stun, depending on, you know, what needs to happen. But for the first 8 turns or so, you don't need to stun. You don't need to stun, because Vengeance is only going to start activating at turn 5, and it's going to ramp up very slowly. Because he also doesn't hit you that much. Because the Vengeance counterattacks from Velzard are great, but when you only get hit twice a turn, maybe 3 times occasionally, like, that's not very fast. When the Vengeance meta was, like, the meta, they were hitting you, like, 7 or 8 times a turn, because there's multiple enemies, and that made Vengeance stack up much quicker than what we're doing here. So we're pretty dependent on using just skills alone. And do not be afraid to miss out on some Vengeance in order to continue to get 6 hands of greens, because you need protection gauge, because you need to be able to reset all of your skills as much as possible. So, like, right here we have a whole bunch of Raphael orbs. I'd rather just bring Trya in. We brought Trya as our, you know, our secondary orb changer. Yome's taking care of the blues, and we pray that Trya can take care of everything else here. Which, for this run, she's very much able to. So she can convert all of these orbs into greens. Perfect. And then we'll bring Guy in. And I'll start stunning with Guy around turn 7 or 8, depending on where that is, because that's after turn 8, and especially around turn 10, Leon really starts to ramp up his light buff, and then he's doing just disturbing amounts of damage, even through your physical resistance and guard, to where it's unviable. Unviable to continue at that pace. So here, alright, we're going to start stunning on turn 7. And we're just now going to pretty much keep him stun-locked the entire fight after this. Because eventually, we're going to lower him to that 25%. And if we don't stun him on, like, a crucial turn, he's going to heal himself. And it's just going to make the fight drag on and on and on. So we've got 47 stacks of Vengeance now. He can't hit us anymore, so the only way we're going to get more is by using our own skills. And the Vengeance comes down at 47 stacks and does 268. And he's got, remember, 2.7 million HP. So this is going to take a hot minute. So, but thankfully, Velzard does reset all of the skills, which includes the stun in the back. So here, we're going to have to make do with it. We're going to bring Guy in for Raphael, use the stun, and then we'll get Guy out of here for Trya, and then she can convert her one orb and then the other orb, and then we can put one more stack of Vengeance on once we use the reset. Actually, no, we don't do it. We just kind of run with it. So he's stunned, so, I mean, we're not gaining or losing anything, but we're making sure we have protection gauge for next turn, and we have a reset set up for the following 2 turns, because we can reset here, and then a full hands of green will get us another Velzard. So we're playing for the future, essentially. So here, Guy is going to come in with his ult. We're going to leave Raphael in the back, because there's no point. We don't need to use his seal skill at all, because we're not being attacked, so what's the point in raising our defense anymore? So, stack of Vengeance there. Actually, we could bring... do we bring Raphael in? We might. I think we do. Yeah, okay. We bring him in for Yome, because he only has 1 orb. Vengeance, and then, so that's 2 stacks right there. And then we bring Guy in, and we can get rid of all 3 of these ults while continuing to keep him stunned. So that worked out actually very, very well. So Guy, don't care. 6,000 damage, peanuts, whatever. Trya, 6,000. Cool. Trainee 15k, something like that, 11k, somewhere around there. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. But 300,000 damage on 53 stacks of Vengeance does matter. So, this is an important turn, because once the Vengeance hits him, he's going to be below that 25% HP threshold. And that means that if we don't have him stunned after that point, he is going to heal for 1,000,000 plus HP, which is just going to put you back like 4 more turns. Right? If we're doing 300k a hit, and he gives himself 1.2 million, like math, math is there. And even if we continue to raise the amount of stacks, like, again, we're not getting hit. He's not raising his own attack, so that's not going to do too much. 320k. So now he's within that 25% range. We have this full hand of Guy right here, which it does work out to where we don't truly need to orb change. We just need to, again, keep him stunned, and preferably keep him stunned at low cost, because if you have to use a stun twice in a row without having it be reset, that severely limits the amount of skills you can use, because it goes from a 25 point to a 45 point. And then you can't use 3 skills alongside that. You can only use 2 at most. 1 if everything else is 45 skill cost, which makes it difficult. You have to be able to reset the stun every turn that you're going to want him to keep him stunned. So here, the Vengeance comes in and does 354. So now we're in the red zone, right? Now we're looking bad. However, I make a crucial misplay here, because I only have 91 skill points. I don't have 100, which means I cannot use 3 skills, and I forget that I have 91 skill points. So this is a great example of what can happen when you fuck up and you do not stun Leon, because I'm gonna show you here. We're gonna orb change there. We're gonna use a Vengeance stack, and that's not the right play. We should have stunned him. We should have stunned him, and I'm just playing on without a care. So here, 6,000, cool, whatever. Attacks, attacks, attacks. And then, boom, 1.4 million HP heal. And then the Vengeance comes in after that, does 400k. So, that, yeah, now I'm looking at the stun. It's like, I didn't use the stun. I didn't use the stun. So there's an example of what happens when you don't keep him stunned when he's at that low of HP. 1.4 million comes back, and you pretty much gotta start over. But I just paused the video, and then we're just gonna make a quick cut into like turn 16 when we're ready to kill, because at this point you just redo it. You keep going, right? You have 100 points. The stun has been reset, so you just continue to keep him stun locked. It's just that instead of killing him on turn 13, we're now on turn 16, where we've stun locked him the entire time, and now he will finally die. So this video could have been a lot less painful, but I made it painful, although unintentionally, more as a learning experience for you guys to show you what would happen if you forgot to stun at a crucial moment, and how frustrating that would be. So 468 Vengeance, turn 16 to kill him. Honestly, like, we didn't really need Trainee. Like, her skill fusion was irrelevant because we never used it. You probably would have been better off served bringing another orb changer, like a dedicated orange orb changer. Probably would have been fine. So Trya, free-to-play Aaron or Sufia or something like that, and then Yom, Raphael, and Guy. That also would have got the job done. Like, I don't think we healed at all either, right? Because why heal if he's never hitting you, at least with strong attacks? So that is the Vengeance team clearing Inferno 3. It is very doable. It requires a bit of RNG, and requires you to always be mindful of skills and costs and everything, and where his HP threshold is, but it is very doable. So let me know what you guys think of this, but that's it from me. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later.